Hey there, my name is Jeremy Bolton, and I will be informing you on how to study the Bible inductively. The way I see it, there's two major different types of Bible study: inductive Bible study and deductive Bible study. Inductive Bible study is where you delve into the Word and you discover truth on your own. Deductive Bible study is being taught what other people have discovered to you. With this inductive Bible study, there are 7 major steps that I will be going over with. The first step is to stop and pray. Second step is to read the entire passage out loud in one sitting. The third step is to study the type of literature. The fourth step is the historical setting, the historical narrative. The fifth step is observing the text. The sixth step is interpreting the text. The seventh step is applying it to our lives. Step number 1, prayer. It's very important to ask the Spirit to be a part of your study, because if we go and read the Bible all on our own understanding, it doesn't completely make sense. And it's very important that we invite the presence of God to be a part of with us. Step number 2, reading the entire passage out loud. Now, when the author was writing the Bible, the different authors obviously wrote the Bible, they didn't put chapter breaks and verse breaks in the passage. They actually were whole books. And so what we want to do is read it like it's an entire book, not just a section. This gives us the best context possible. Also, it's important that we discover the big picture, what is going on. 2 of the major things that I would look for is discovering the main idea and the reason written. The main idea is the big picture message that the author is going through. This third step that I'd like to bring to your attention is to identify the type of literature that you're reading when you're studying the Bible inductively. There's many different types. There's 4 major ones in the Bible. We have like Genesis, for example, would be historical narrative. Then we go to Psalms and Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. Those books would be considered wisdom poetry. There's also prophecy. You have the major prophets and the minor prophets. Isaiah, Jeremiah, those are prophets. And then there's the epistles. Another term for epistles would be letters. And that's like what Paul wrote to the Corinthians, the Ephesians, writing to Timothy, etc. It's very important to understand the type of literature before you go interpreting it, and put your feet in the original audience's perspective and point of view. The fourth step that I'd like to talk to you about is historical background. It is very important to understand the context of the original audience. For example, if Paul is talking to the Ephesians, we can't read that passage like he's talking to us in our day and age, because the Ephesians dealt with many different things than we do at this time. For example, there were ascetics where they would destroy their own flesh. There was mystery gods and cults and all kinds of things going on. So reading the Bible in light of the historical background will give us a better foundation for a true understanding of how to study the Bible. The fifth step that I'd like to bring to your attention is observation. Observation is, what is the text actually saying? Not what does it mean, is what does it say? When we're observing the Bible, it's important to look out for key words or repetition of words. For example, in Ephesians chapter 4, Paul repeats the word one several times. Likewise, in 1 John chapter 4, the word love being repeated over and over again, because the author is trying to specifically address a topic, so he will repeat himself over and over. The sixth step I'd like to bring to your attention is interpretation. Now, when we're interpreting the Bible, it's very important to build that interpretation off of an observation. So if we observed, for example, like in the book of Philemon, a contrast of Paul contrasting Onesimus being a slave, but now he is free. That word "but" is an observation, and we can ask from an interpretation point of view, why did Paul put that "but" in there? So why did he? Why did he say that Onesimus was a slave, but now welcome him as a beloved brother? He said that so that the author could, so that the audience, the original hearer, would, or the original reader as well, would interpret that as Onesimus is no longer a slave, but a beloved brother, which gives us a timeless truth that we can take from this, which is our seventh step, application. And we can say that Christ brings reconciliation and equality, and this just unlocked a whole new depth of the meaning of the scripture. So with those 7 steps, I hope that you can understand real briefly on how to study the Bible in a different way than you ever have before. Thank you for your time.